Easter weekend, time of celebration with family and friends. So I'm out of town, but got lots of stuff to talk about. Rob?
We sure do, and it's great to see you, Robin. Hope you're having fun wherever you are. I'm Rob Morrison, bringing you the biggest news of the week, as always. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or even join our brand as a franchisee, this is the place to be.
Absolutely. We are going to cover new listings, restaurant sales, insider tips on what's moving in the marketplace. Drop your questions in the comments so we can answer them live on the air.
Yep, and if you're watching live, please say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, well, type replay so we know that you stopped by.
Okay, and so before we dive in, I mentioned it is Easter weekend. Happy Easter to everyone. It's one of our favorite times of the year. It's about slowing down, spending time that matter most, sharing a meal together, and some of those are in restaurants, making new memories with your family. And a lot of those memories happen right around either the kitchen table or the restaurant table. So for every owner and operator out there, we hope those family moments are incredibly special and we appreciate each of you. So let's jump in. You ready for the top insights, Rob?
Absolutely, let's do it. Let's start with some full service restaurant news, Robin.
Yeah, this is really one of the biggest stories hitting the industry this week, and it didn't come from a menu launch or a new concept. It came from a data report, and these numbers are pretty serious.
Yeah, okay, so here they are. Black Box Intelligence just released this new analysis comparing 2025 restaurant sales against peak performance since 2019. And what they found is that 9% of all full service restaurants are now considered at risk of closing in 2026. That means nearly 1 in 10 full service locations is operating below the threshold needed to survive.
And remember, it is full service, and they're getting very, very specific about it. What they're saying is 3% of full service restaurants have already lost more than 50% of their peak sales. And for those locations, these analysts are not asking if they will close, they're asking when.
Right. So what's behind it? Well, it appears cumulative inflation has pushed operating costs up by nearly a third since 2019. When a restaurant has already lost 30% or more of its top line revenue and costs have risen that dramatically, the math simply doesn't add up anymore.
Yeah, so for buyers and sellers, this is the story behind the story. Restaurants that have been quietly struggling for years are reaching that tipping point. So motivated sellers are entering the market, and buyers who are paying attention have a real window of opportunity.
So the takeaway, pretty simple, the market is moving. Whether you're thinking about selling before things get harder or buying at a moment when value is available, now's the time to have that conversation.
All right, now we're going to talk about Red Lobster. You may be in the know after this show about Red Lobster being back in trouble. They went through bankruptcy not long ago. They tried to regroup, restructure, and come back stronger, but this week it's clear that that comeback is hitting some serious headwinds.
Yeah, closing locations continues this year in 2026, including restaurants in Michigan and Texas. Chain is trying to right size its footprint, but the challenges go beyond real estate. Tariffs on imported seafood, particularly shrimp from Ecuador, have driven up ingredient costs significantly. And when your core protein gets more expensive and your customers are already price sensitive, the margins disappear.
Yeah, so this is not just a Red Lobster problem, though. It's an illustration of what happens when a brand delays the hard decisions for too long. Casual dining concepts that rely on a single protein, right? Very heavy into that shrimp. They carry heavy lease obligations or haven't updated their value proposition in so many years. They're the ones feeling the pressure right now.
Yep, and it's a reminder for anyone in the restaurant industry that unit economics matter more than brand recognition. A famous name on the door does not guarantee profitability at the unit level. Buyers looking at distressed assets need to do the math. Sellers who see the writing on the wall need to act before the window closes.
Yes. So Red Lobster, it's a big brand, loyal customer base, and that makes it a story worth watching. But the lesson, That applies at every level of the industry, independent or chain. And now we're going to talk about something I've been following all week. It's great. The great KitKat Heist and what it means for restaurant brands. You
Let's
know,
talk about
Rob, sometimes a story breaks through the noise in a way that has absolutely nothing to do with your industry and everything to do with how you market this business, how you market your business. And this week it was chocolate.
Yeah. A truck carrying, Robin, 413,793 to be exact, special edition Formula One car-shaped KitKat chocolate bars disappeared while transporting about 12 tons of product from Italy to Poland. Italian authorities confirmed that the truck was intercepted outside Turin by individuals impersonating law enforcement. No one was harmed, but what happened next is the part worth paying attention to.
That's right. So instead of defaulting to corporate speak and to a standard statement, KitKat leaned into the absurdity, and the story has gone viral with brands around the world jumping in with parody posts and playful responses. DoorDash, KFC, Domino's, Outback, they've all posted mock confessions, each one playing off the moment while keeping their own brand intact. And just not for nothing, but if you check my LinkedIn profile, you may see a story about a new listing. Totally coincidental. It's the KitKat Kitchen, where just hit the marketplace. So if you're interested in that, check out my LinkedIn post.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us it was a confession. You were jumping on that
I'm just
trend.
saying, we've got it listed and all the ingredients call for Kit Kats.
For anyone in the restaurant industry, this story is a masterclass in real-time brand engagement. Nestle recognized early that this would go viral, and it was clear it was an isolated incident, no harm done, which is exactly what made the humor land. The brands that jumped in fastest and most authentically got the most attention.
Yeah, so the takeaway for restaurant operators, you don't need a chocolate heist to go viral. It's the moments like this that reward brands that already have a voice, a personality, and an audience ready to engage. So if your audience has no social presence, no brand identity, and nothing to say, you can't capitalize on a moment like this, even if it's handed to you.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, KitKat turned a theft into a marketing win without spending a dollar. This is the kind of outcome every restaurant brand should be chasing, not just when something goes viral, but every single week. Have a break, have a strategy.
I caught that little have a break. All right, top listings. Rob, you going to tell us about them?
Yeah, we'll transition from that terrible joke to something better. Our new top listings. These opportunities span Arkansas, Georgia, and Arizona and represent three very different paths into restaurant ownership, from a fully built out downtown bar and restaurant in one of the fastest growing markets in the South, to a proven cash flowing family concept in Northwest Georgia, to a semi-absentee Italian restaurant with 150,000 in owner earnings in the heart of East Valley. These listings offer something for buyers at every single level.
Oh, wow, they sure do. But the connection, it's immediate operation, strong fundamentals. Whether you're drawn to a turnkey bar setup with a full liquor license and a team in place, verified sales and money you can take to the bank, or a profitable concept you can own without being there every day, each of these gives a new owner strong foundation to step in with confidence.
All right, our first featured opportunity is listing 37503 in Fayetteville, Arkansas, represented by Team Tyson, and it's listed at $149,000. Turnkey restaurant and bar sits in a high visibility downtown Fayetteville corridor, one of the most active dining destinations in the rapidly expanding Northwest Arkansas market. Space comes fully loaded with a flat grill, char grill, 10-foot hood, 2 fryers, walk-in cooler, everything you need to open fast. 2,300 square foot space, seats 67 inside, 12 outside, has a flexible bar and dining layout built for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or even late night service. Rent's just $4,700 a month with the lease through July 2028 and 3 additional 3-year options. So you have some long-term security there. Full liquor license is in place. Trained team of 4 is ready to go, and the seller will support a smooth transition from day one. It is structured as an asset sale with strong upside for a hands-on operator, ready to grow through catering, private events, delivery. It's a booming market.
All right, now we're going to go to listing 37485 in Chatsworth, Georgia, represented by Paul Rogers, listed at $199,000. Profitable Georgia restaurant has verified results. Books and records show sales of almost $350,000, earnings of $88,160 with a local loyal following and consistent community demand. Qualified buyers can pursue SBA lending with just 20% down, making this an accessible entry point into a cash flowing operation. The 1,500 square foot space seats 54 inside, 24 outside on a guest-pleasing patio. Perfect for families. The rent, wow, just $1,500 a month. And the option to purchase the building outright. Hours are Tuesday through Sunday, daytime and early shifts only. So it's a schedule that supports work-life balance and strong staff retention. The seller's retiring and will provide hands-on training for 2 weeks. Take advantage of the look at this restaurant today. It won't last long.
All right. Our third featured opportunity this week is listing 37435. It's in Gilbert, Arizona. It's represented by Mike Smith, and it's listed at $499,000. This Italian restaurant is certified pre-owned, and it earns, believe me, with sales of $776,000+ and an owner benefit of more than $150,000. It's a full-service bar and dining concept operating in one of the East Valley's most desirable and fastest-growing communities, surrounded by strong residential neighborhoods and consistent built-in traffic. It's a 2,500 square foot space, features full-service bar, well-designed dining room, and fully equipped kitchen with a commercial hood system and a walk-in cooler. Truly turnkey from day one. Currently runs on a semi-absentee model with management handling both front and back of the house, giving a new owner the ability to earn strong income with limited daily involvement, or step in hands-on and push performance even further.
Wow, sounds pretty good. So each new listing represents different ownership strategy. You've got a high energy downtown bar concept in booming Arkansas, a low rent, high earning family restaurant in Georgia with verified cash flow, an Italian absentee concept in Arizona earning over $150,000 each year.
Yep, so if any of these opportunities align with your goals, click Get Complete Package to review financials and additional details. Our certified restaurant brokers are ready to guide you through valuation, financing options, and the next steps so you can move forward with confidence.
All right, we're going to shift to insights for sellers because here's a question every restaurant seller thinking about selling should ask themselves right now. If a qualified buyer walked through your door today and made you a strong offer, are you ready to say yes?
Not emotionally ready, not financially ready, legally ready, because one of the most common reasons restaurant deals fall apart or can get significantly delayed has nothing to do with the buyer, the price, or the market. It has everything to do with paperwork that was never organized, permits maybe that lapsed, or lease details the seller didn't fully understand when he signed it.
Listen, we've lived through these, Rob. Here's what it looks like in practice. The seller accepts the offer, due diligence begins, and then the buyer's team starts with the questions. Who holds a liquor license? Is it transferable? Is the health permit current? Are there outstanding violations? What does the lease actually say about assignment and transfer rights?
Not trick questions, Robin. They're standard. But for sellers who've never been through a transaction before, the answers can be surprisingly difficult to produce quickly, and in a deal, time's everything. The longer it takes to answer these basic questions, the more a buyer's confidence erodes.
So sellers who close fastest and cleanest are the ones who treated their restaurant like an asset they intended to sell long before they ever listed it. Their permits are current, their lease is understood, their licenses are in order, their corporate documents organized and accessible. When due diligence begins, they are ready.
And here's the part that surprises many sellers. Getting this organized, it's not as overwhelming as it sounds when you have the right guidance. A conversation with a certified restaurant broker before you list can identify exactly what a buyer's going to ask and give you a clear checklist to work from.
So the restaurant market right now is active. Buyers are moving, but they are walking away from messy or risky deals. So buyers capturing the best outcomes are the ones showing up, prepared, transparent, and ready to close.
So if you want to know exactly what a buyer is going to need from you before you ever sign a listing agreement, our certified restaurant brokers are ready to walk you through it. Visit WeSellRestaurants.com to schedule your confidential consultation today.
All right, and now let's move on to those buyers and their top insights, because here's something that doesn't get said enough in this market. The difference between buyers who successfully close on a great restaurant and buyers who spend months searching without results comes down to one thing: clarity before the search, not during it.
Yep, most first-time buyers come into this process thinking the hardest part is finding the right listing. It's not. The hardest part is knowing exactly what you're looking for before you start looking. That means getting honest with yourself about three things: your lifestyle, your skill set, and your financial picture.
Okay, now let's begin with lifestyle, because it's the most overlooked factor in the entire process. A high concept nightlife, high volume nightlife concept might generate great numbers, but if you have a family and value your evenings, that business will grind you down no matter how profitable it is. The best acquisition is not always the one with the highest earnings, it's the one that fits the life you want to live.
Yep, skill set matters just as much. Buyers who come from operations backgrounds tend to thrive in full service, higher complexity concepts. Buyers who are stronger on the business and marketing side often do exceptionally well with franchise resales or simple counter service models where systems are already in place. Knowing where your strengths are helps you target the right opportunity right from the start.
And then there's the financial picture, Rob, not just what you have to invest today, but how you plan to finance the acquisition, what your working capital looks like after closing, and whether you have explored SBA lending options that could dramatically expand what's available to you. Buyers who get pre-qualified before they start seriously touring locations have a significant advantage. Sellers and buyers take them more seriously, and deals move faster.
Yep, and here's the other thing: experienced buyers understand that first timers often learn the hard way. Speed matters on the right listing. The best opportunities in this market don't sit. When a well-priced restaurant with a clean financial picture and strong location hits the market, qualified buyers move quickly. Hesitation can be expensive.
Yeah, so that's a different way to say it. We generally say time kills deals, right? Because the buyers winning right now are the ones doing that work up front, clear on what they want, have their financing in order, and partner with a certified restaurant broker who alerts them the moment the right opportunity becomes available.
And that's why we're here. Whether you're buying your first restaurant or expanding your portfolio, our certified restaurant brokers work with buyers every single day to match the right opportunity with the right owner. Visit WeSellRestaurants.com and start your search today.
That's what happened with these buyers. And this week we're going to actually finalize how that search ended with sold restaurants, two very different sellers who arrived at the same decision. It was time to move on. One was a restaurant lifer stepping into retirement after a lifetime. The other was a pilot who discovered that running a business from the ground takes more than flying at 30,000 feet. In both cases, the right buyer was waiting.
And what connects these two closings is purpose. Every buyer came to the table with a clear reason to own, not just a desire to be in the restaurant business, but a specific plan for what they were going to do with it. That kind of clarity is what turns a listing into a closing.
All right, so we are going to head to Florida, and an opportunity represented by Ken Eisenband with We Sell Restaurants Broward, Palm Beach County. Well, we're saying Ken, but we're talking about Naples, so I think we might be talking about a different franchisee. But in any case, let's talk about Naples. It sits on Florida's Gulf Coast. It's a market of seasoned operators and discerning diners where established breakfast and lunch concepts build loyal repeat bases of customers who return again and again. So this particular restaurant found its next chapter in exactly 86 days. The seller was a true restaurant lifer. She'd owned many restaurants over the course of her career and built the kind of operational knowledge that only comes from decades inside the industry. Her decision to sell wasn't driven by struggle, it was driven by a well-earned retirement and the focus she wanted to shift towards her supporting her son's restaurant in nearby Fort Myers. So, a planned, deliberate exit on her own terms. Our certified restaurant broker matched the listing with a buyer who brought his own deep experience to the table. The incoming owner had spent years providing school lunches to private schools throughout the area. Now that's a business that takes precision, consistency, and the ability to manage volume. His situation created an urgency to act. He was losing his lease and needed a solution. And this restaurant was it. So the new owner is going to continue running the school lunch program while running his breakfast and lunch cafe under a new identity. So smart. The restaurant will be rebranded Lorena's Cafe, named after his wife, and the two will operate it together. The space, the concept, and the customer base all aligned perfectly with what was needed, and that's why this occurred in just 86 days.
Wow, what a story. And
I know.
we're gonna we'll stay in Florida for this one, Pompano Beach, Florida, just across Alligator Alley, I guess. And
Well, here's what I think, Rob. I think this one says it's Dave Whitcomb, and that was his story previously, and now you're going to be talking about something in Pompano Beach, and that's actually Ken.
yeah,
I think our script writer flipped him on us to see if we were on our toes.
we got to talk to her about East and West. But
Yeah.
Pompano Beach sits in the heart of South Florida's Broward County, which, as we know, is a dense, high traffic market, strong demand for specialty food concepts that offer something genuinely different. And this listing was exactly that. The seller came from a world far removed from restaurant kitchens, an airline pilot by profession. He purchased this shop as a second income stream. Smart diversification move on paper, but what he discovered over time was that running a business, even a well-performing business, requires a level of daily presence that does not pair easily with the demands of a flight schedule. The decision to sell, not about the business, it was about time. The buyer arriving at the closing table brought a completely different kind of energy, a former professional tennis player, not someone looking to replicate a past career, someone ready to build a new one. Restaurant business represented a fresh chapter, and this concept gave him something worth stepping into. The product itself is a standout. It's not a conventional ice cream shop. It uses liquid nitrogen to produce the ice cream. Different process entirely, and pretty cool to watch. I'm sure we've all been to one of those.
Yes.
It creates a unique texture, built-in story that markets itself in a crowded food landscape. Differentiation, say that 10 times fast, it matters. This concept certainly had it for that former tennis player. Good story.
So, yeah, listen to that. Our buyers, a former professional tennis player, an airline pilot. People come from all walks of life into this business. They're just so attracted to the business. And these two transactions reflect what we do at every closing, match that right buyer to the right opportunity, structure deals around real conditions, guide both sides through details that turn negotiations into successful closings.
So if you're thinking about selling your restaurant or you're ready to explore what your business is worth, our certified restaurant brokers are ready for a confidential conversation. Click Get Complete Package or reach out to a broker today to take the next step.
All right, moving on to some hot listings. These span Florida and Colorado, represent two very different paths into pizza ownership, from a fully built patio-equipped full-service pizza concept in South Florida to a proven Papa John's in northern Colorado, generating over 100,000. These give buyers a real opportunity to step in and grow from day one.
What makes these hot listings stand out is the infrastructure already in place. Whether a buyer wants a rare, long-term, below-market lease in one of South Florida's most desirable markets, or a nationally recognized franchise with verified sales and SBA lending available, both of these restaurants offer a clear path to ownership with strong fundamentals already working in your favor.
All right, check out listing 37555, Pompano Beach, Florida, represented by Roberta Lowe and listed at 150,000. It's a turnkey pizza restaurant on a high visibility, busy highway leading directly into Pompano Beach. So you've got a thriving retail strip center anchored by national food brands, fitness center, and service providers, over 50,000 vehicles a day, and a population surrounding it in 5 miles of 290,000. The kitchen's fully loaded, conveyor pizza oven for high volume production, 13-foot commercial hood system, in-ground grease trap, coolers, freezers, everything you need, in great working condition. It seats 43 guests inside and nearly as many outside, 39 on an outdoor patio, which is a revenue driver with potential for live music and private events. The lease, just $4,100 a month, secured all the way through August 2038 with 3 5-year renewal options. That kind of long-term below market rent stability, very rare in South Florida. Annual sales are $200,000 with clear upside out there through expanded catering, delivery, or special events.
Sounds good. Next up is listing 37115. It's in Adams County, Colorado, and it's represented by Bobby P. It's listed at $325,000. It's a proven Papa John's pizza franchise generating $687,199 in sales and an owner benefit of nearly $108,000. A delivery and carry-out powerhouse serving a growing trade area in northern Colorado with strong brand recognition, repeat guests, and steady online order volumes. Qualified buyers can pursue SBA lending with just 15% down, keeping working capital in the business where it belongs. It's a 1,200 square foot space. It's built for efficient, high volume production with a practical delivery staging area, prominent signage, always important, plaza parking. The franchisor provides 3 weeks of training, plus ongoing field support and national marketing resources, making this a smart entry point for both experienced operators and first-time franchise buyers. The rent, it runs approximately $6,200 a month with a lease through February 2027, but 2 renewal options to protect that location. The current hours run late most nights to capture peak delivery demand. A 6% royalty and 5% marketing fund fuel national and local advertising. And the franchise transfer fee at closing is $4,000 for a smooth handoff. Buyers could come prepared with at least $250,000 in liquid funds for the franchise approval. That's what Papa John's wants to see.
Okay, so both hot listings, they're reflecting what today's buyers are looking for: proven infrastructure, sales performance, locations positioned to support continued growth. One gives you South Florida real estate stability with a patio and lease you'll be grateful for in 2038. The other, nationally recognized brand, 6-figure earnings from day one.
So if one of those opportunities stands out, click Get Complete Package to review financials and additional details. Our certified restaurant brokers are ready to guide you through valuation, financing options, and next steps so you can move forward with confidence.
All right, and speaking of moving forward with confidence, we measure success at We Sell Restaurants not just by closed transactions, but by the relationships built along the way. The brokers on our team bring expertise, dedication, and a genuine commitment to every client they serve. And sometimes, Rob, the best way to illustrate that is let them speak for themselves.
Yep, we have 2 testimonials this week from sellers who recently worked with our certified restaurant brokers in Florida and Georgia. What comes through in both these stories is something that goes beyond the transaction. It's about feeling supported, guided, and confident from the first conversation all the way to closing day.
All right, we're going to start in Tampa and Sarasota, where Eric Mong shared his experience working with restaurant brokers Mike and Abby. Eric said, I was working with Mike and his wife Abby. They are vertical professionals and great at their job. I highly recommend to work with them for restaurant sales. Thank you so much for helping me throughout my restaurant selling journey.
Yeah, that phrase we hear, right? Throughout our journey says everything. Selling a restaurant It's just a single moment. It's a process, many moving parts. Having brokers who show up at every stage can make all the difference. And that kind of dedication is exactly what Mike and Abby bring to every client they serve.
All right, now we're going to move to Northeast Georgia, where Dave Cappy shared his experience working with certified restaurant broker during the sale of his restaurants. That's Robert Klaus, I believe, our franchise partner. He said Robert stayed on the course and made a great match between me and my buyer. Highly recommend. Easy to deal with and professional.
Staying the course. It's not always easy in a restaurant transaction. Deals always face challenges. Timelines can shift, and the right match takes patience. And Robert's commitment to seeing it through and finding the right buyer for Dave reflects exactly the kind of professionalism that our clients deserve.
Yeah, these stories remind us that behind every successful transaction is a partnership built on trust, consistency, and careful attention to what matters most to the client.
Yeah. So to Eric, Dave, and every client who's trusted We Sell Restaurants with one of their most important decisions of their professional lives, thank you very much. It's your confidence in our brokers that drives everything we do, and we're honored to be part of your journey. If you've worked with one of our certified restaurant brokers and you'd like to share your experience, we would absolutely love to hear from you.
And speaking of sharing your experience, how about becoming part of the experience? Because there is a shift happening inside one of the most overlooked corners of the restaurant world, and it's worth talking about. Business brokerage long has been a male-dominated field. That's starting to change, and We Sell Restaurants, hey, we're leading the way.
So how about this? Women represent just 17% of professionals in business brokerage, a field critical to helping entrepreneurs buy and sell businesses. But inside the We Sell Restaurants system, the numbers tell a very different story. Nearly 32% of the nation's largest restaurant brokerage franchise territories are now owned by women or women-led partnerships. It's nearly double the industry average.
Yes, and these are not just participation numbers. Deborah and Samantha Sawyer, they are a mother and daughter team building a multi-unit ownership footprint, just closed a seven-figure deal. Allison Gregory expanded to a second territory within her first year while stepping into leadership roles with the Colorado Association of Business Broker Intermediaries. Real results from real people, women building real businesses.
Yep, the model itself is what makes it possible. No inventory, no kitchen, no Friday night emergencies. According to the We Sell Restaurants 2025 FDD, franchisees earned $263,253 in gross commission income, and more than 50% of all franchisees brokered more than $1 million in sales. You're building a professional practice, not just punching a clock.
We Sell Restaurants has also built a dedicated community around this momentum. We call it WOW, the Women of We Sell Restaurants. It's a place we support, connect, and a platform for women growing their businesses and leading within the industry. You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself.
So if you have a background in restaurants or sales or finance or franchising, and you're ready for your next chapter, it's worth a serious look. Learn more about joining the nation's only franchise brand that's built exclusively around restaurant sales.
All right, and shifting gears, we're going to talk about one of the opportunities in restaurant ownerships today, franchise resales. Many buyers are searching for new locations or independent concepts, but a growing number of informed buyers are going in a completely different direction.
And it makes sense when you look at the numbers. A franchise resale gives you something a brand new location simply can't: a track record, recent sales history, a customer base that already knows where to find you, and a team that already knows how to operate the concept.
So think about what that means for the buyer. Instead of spending months in build out, waiting on permits, hiring from scratch, and hoping the market responds, you walk into an open, already generating revenue location, part of a recognized brand system.
And the franchise infrastructure is already there too. Training programs, supplier relationships, marketing support, and operational systems are all in place from day one. You're not figuring things out, you're executing a proven playbook in a location with a head start.
These opportunities attract buyers at every level. First-time owners get a lower risk entry point with existing staff and systems already supporting the operation. Multi-unit operators get an efficient path to expansion without the timeline and capital demands of building from the ground up.
Yeah, and the brands themselves benefit from strong resales. When a location transitions to a motivated, qualified new owner, it brings renewed energy, stronger execution, and better outcomes for the entire system.
And the key is knowing how to evaluate these opportunities. Not every resale is created equal. We have lease terms to consider, transfer requirements, financial performance, operational health. All of these items need to be assessed carefully by a certified restaurant broker before a buyer moves forward.
That's right, and that's where We Sell Restaurants comes in. Our certified restaurant brokers specialize in franchise resales. They understand every layer of the transaction, from the brand approval process to the financial evaluation to the lease negotiation. When you're ready to explore franchise resale opportunities, visit WeSellRestaurants.com and get started.
All right, and Rob, that's it. Heading into the Easter weekend that wraps up this week's top sales, listings, and franchise opportunities. If you're buying, selling, or exploring a career in restaurant brokerage, we would love to help.
Great deals move faster than the Easter Bunny, so click the link in the comments or visit WeSellRestaurants.com to learn more.
So I would have said faster than the Easter candy disappears, but if you
That's true.
enjoyed, yeah, if you enjoyed today's show, hit the thumbs up, share it with someone interested in restaurant ownership.
Or faster than the KitKats disappeared.
That's it.
Follow our page so you never miss a new listing. We'll be back next Friday with more updates.
All right, have a great weekend, and remember, our name says it all. We Sell Restaurants.